Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Well, let's crack on with today's first story, which comes from Sorry Not Sorry D and says, my best friend's mistress doesn't know that he is actually broke. My wife's reaction to the whole thing really bummed me out. My male 41 best friend Jack, male 41 since kindergarten, cheated on his wife Anna, female 39, with a girl half his age, Max, female 25. Anna is one of the best human beings I've ever met. She is very beautiful, kind and caring. She is very successful too. When Jack met her, he was so in love that he wrote an ironclad prenup just to be with her. In other words, Jack has nothing to his name. He met Max on a work trip, and it was then that he cheated on Anna. The affair lasted for 2 months until Max made an ultimatum to leave his wife for her. Jack refused and tried to end the affair, so Max told Anna everything. This broke Anna beyond repair, and she told Jack that she couldn't forgive him. They're in the process of divorcing now, and Jack lives in a small studio apartment near his work. After Jack lost hope to a reconciliation with Anna, he started seeing Max again. Now they're officially dating. My wife Pat, female 32, knows all these details. She's more forgiving and understanding person than I am, and I love that about her. She is way more tolerant because I am Team Anna, and there's nothing Jack can say to make me change my opinion. Now everything is settled, my wife said that she wanted to invite Jack and his new girlfriend to our place. I was very reluctant at first, but my wife insisted that my friendship with Jack is important. We are basically brothers and we should accept people we love, even with their flaws. It made sense, and I trust my wife to always make sense. The dinner was awkward. I couldn't see past these two cheaters. Jack pretending to be happy and Max overexcited over the fact that she won this prize named Jack. I understood then that things wouldn't be the same, but my wife was right. I love Jack, and that's the most important now. Max talked about her upbringing and the hard life she had growing up. She talked about her future with Jack and all the fun they would have. It dawned on me that she didn't know they could do half of what she was dreaming of with Jack's salary. It dawned on me why she chose him and why she was so willing to hurt an innocent woman that way. She had learned to know the Jack who lived in fancy hotels and drove a fancy car. When I asked her about their living arrangements, Max said that Jack temporarily is living in a studio apartment until the divorce is settled. Max talked about what she would do to their place, renovation and redecorating. The apartment that Anna bought for her family with her hard-earned money. The one she decorated with her husband from scratch to make it their home. I remember how happy and full of dreams she was when she found her dream home. To hear Max sitting there talking about how she would use money she never earned to redecorate a home she wasn't entitled to, making fun of another woman's taste and style. It brought tears to my eyes. Yes, men can get emotional too. Jack has not told Max the truth. When they left Pat, I started discussing our dear friends. I was very surprised when Pat angrily told me that I was cruel and callous for not wanting to enlighten Max about her new situation. My wife thought that Max had a tough life and she deserved to have a good life now. I was taken aback by my wife's logic. I told my wife that I will not tell Max anything, that if she wanted then be my guest. But now I don't understand my wife and I'm turned off by her morals. Anna was a great friend to my wife, but my wife doesn't seem to give a rat's ass about her. My wife then got very angry and accused me of caring too much about Anna. That's when I ended the discussion because I realized that this was going below the belt. But in the comments on this post, Purple Syllabub says Max will discover Jack is not wealthy. If she cares for him as a person, she will accept it. If she is a gold digger, he will be left in a ditch. I think turnabout is fair play. Invite Anna over for an evening. Next commenter says, okay, after reading all this in your replies, I kinda get it. Your wife had a hard life and likely sees a lot of herself in Max. That is something you can talk to her about. She isn't Max and she probably shouldn't compare herself to someone who just broke up a marriage. Max and Jack are really slimy people. Not sure why you and your wife would want to remain good friends with them. Might be time to drift apart from Jack. And Cranberry Fun 3264 says, you need to sit down and have a heart-to-heart with your wife and find out why she feels this way. Is she jealous of Anna or attracted to your best friend? And that's why she's okay with him not being with Anna and want you to tell Max that your best friend is broke. Morally, this could be a deal breaker for you because a reaction to this makes no sense and you need to get to the bottom of this. SKS says, I'm wildly speculating, but your wife's reaction seems to suggest that she's afraid you'll start being interested in Anna. You're describing Anna as this perfect person and now she's single and rich. So your wife pushes you towards keeping the friendship with Jack, who's no threat, and you say she doesn't give a rat's ass about Anna. She probably doesn't want to bring her up, so you don't focus on Anna. I talk to her and just tell her that you're very surprised by how she's defending two cheaters and why she's defending Max, and think she deserves happiness after helping break up a marriage. And one more comment which has a response from OP which says, I'm wondering what the wife knows about Jack and Anna's relationship that OP doesn't. That's all I can think to explain how she would believe Jack deserves embracing, but Anna is suddenly out of their lives over the other party's divorce. It's so weird. I would think these two were together enough that Anna is considered their friend too. There is a lack of neutrality with wife here that makes me wonder if she's worried you have a crush on Anna or did previously. It is really sad, but I try to revisit and clarify with your wife how she feels towards Anna. Let's see what she says. The lack of empathy is really troubling you, or rather the placement of empathy on Max, but nothing about Anna. Ultimately, this mess is Jack's issue to deal with. It isn't really yours place to tell Max shit, as she knowingly broke up a marriage for her price and should be prepared to lay down with the potential consequences. It also sounds like you all both knew Jack was cheating through all this and said nothing to Anna, so why would your wife care about a child Max being hoodwinked too? OP responds saying she knows nothing beyond what I too know. Jack and Anna were very much in love with each other and they had their problems like the rest of us. I know Jack regretted his affair and I know Anna was very hurt. My wife Stan is very weird to me. I understand sometime after everything went south that my wife didn't really count Anna as a friend. She told me it was because Anna is much older and isn't at the same stage in life, so there's not much in common. I respected that. As I said, I understand that Anna was only my friend's wife to my wife. It is sad, but I can't make them friends. I don't understand what's happening now. I don't like this side of my wife at all. So, OP does come back into their post with an update, and they says, yep, the title of the update is, I have fallen in love with my best friend's ex-wife. My previous post here opened up my eyes. Thank you. And this post is 5 months later from the original. This is convoluted, but I will try my best to make it make sense. Be patient with me. About my wife, Pat. Sometimes you think that you know the person you fell in love with married, but then something serious happens and your relationship stands in a trial. Something divisive and you find yourself standing on the opposite sides. You start wondering about the person you chose to create a life with and wonder why you love them when they're so different from you. You realize that you probably love the version of them that you created in your head. We had a lot of discussions, Pat and I, about how I felt about her new relationship with Jack and Max, and she ignored my disdain for what they had done. I understand that people fall in and out of love and they move on, but then other people in their surroundings also should have feelings or opinions about these decisions. Nobody is right or wrong. Pat's approach was very non-judgmental, which is obviously a very admirable thing, but I found myself on the opposite side. While Pat insisted on inviting Jack and Max, forming new friendships with them. The more I hung out with my former best friend and his mistress, the more I disliked them, and realized they are not the kind of people I want in my life, and by extension, the more I disliked Pat. Our disagreements got more intense and more frequent. I told Pat this wasn't working for me anymore, and she accused me of choosing a pathetic loser over our marriage. Of course, she is entitled to believe whatever she wants. That was not my reason according to me, and the truth is probably something in between. About Jack and Max. Pat told Max that Jack is actually not the one with the money like he had been pretending. And while there's probably not going to be totally empty-handed in this divorce settlement, it won't be the amount that would allow all the dreams and plans she's made, especially when Anna is getting full custody. This put a big wedge between Jack and Max, and they've been off and on again since the revelation. Jack has expressed a lot of disgust and repulsion towards Max, so I really don't understand this relationship and why these two miserable people stayed together, nor do I want to understand. They disgust me, and I am done with them. About Anna. When she heard about my separation from my wife, she reached out to the both of us. She said that since she's gone through something similar, she wanted to offer support and love. She said that she knew what we were going through. We started talking on the phone and texting. Now almost daily, and I have met up with her on a few occasions for dinners. I find myself thinking about her all the time, and when I wake up in the morning, I go directly to my phone to see if she has sent me a good morning text, and I know my day will be just fine when I find one. Not sure if this is love or if I'm falling for her. Not sure if pursuing anything with her is wise. I've not told anyone about these feelings, and I'm not sure I ever will. I just know that I love having her in my life. She's a great friend, and maybe I shouldn't ruin this beautiful friendship with this beautiful woman because of some desires. And then the relevant comments on this one gave some additional information. One commenter says, I remember your first post, and I also remember how I didn't like how your wife responded to the whole cheating and becoming friends with a mistress as you painted it. So before you pull the trigger on possibly blowing up 2 friendships going further if that's what Anna wants, make sure you're divorced first. But other than that, live your life how you want. I'll probably get downvoted. You only live once. As far as your former friend, misery loves company. Those two deserve each other. Opie says that's what I'm planning to do. I have no plans on confessing to Anna, and I honestly don't even know what she feels about me. What I know is that I'm glad that we are friends again, and I think she is too. Another commenter says, yeah, I don't know why everyone's mad. Your wife was basically supporting cheating. You're not even cheating, you separated, and our friendship blooms because of it. Birds of a feather flock together. If my partner wanted to be friends with a cheater and their mistress, I'd assume they'd want a mistress of their own. Opie says, not even supporting cheating. Totally ignoring and dismissing my feelings that I didn't want to hang out with Jack and Max. It became like a statement from her part that these people are in our lives. I never took any contact with Anna because I knew my wife didn't want that. One simple no was enough. She didn't spare me the same decency anyway. And OP added some additional info which says the thing is Jack changed a whole lot too. It wasn't the only questionable morality of having an affair, and I don't know if he has always been this way, but never needed to show his true colours because he was married to a brilliant woman who made him a better man, or that in fact his affair did change him. He's moronic, bitter and angry all the time. So disrespectful of everything and everyone. He called Anna, the mother of his children, a whore, and even his new girlfriend. He calls her a disgusting gold digger, home wrecker, loser, and ugly, sometimes to her face, in front of us, making me nauseated and very uncomfortable. He hasn't seen his children since Anna made it clear that they would never go back together, like their purpose is done. Never once did he say he misses his children. Hell, even I miss them greatly. And Pat has seen all these changes, and it doesn't bother her, not even a little. What she told me was that he will have more children with his new girlfriend. I remember the fight we had after this conversation. I never really recovered from it. It is true what they say, that people show their true colors when times are bad. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story with an update, of course, from a throwaway account, and says, I, 28 male, went to my girlfriend's 26 female parents for Thanksgiving, and it went horribly. We've been dating for over a year, and I've met her parents a few times, but just things like dinners. They live 4 hours from us, and this was going to be the first holiday we spent together. Her parents, her younger brother, and her younger sister. We drove down Thanksgiving morning, and we were going to spend the night there, then a few days at a resort. Her parents are blue collar and church going. I teach high school math, a bit of a cultural difference. My girlfriend made me promise not to get into a discussion with her dad on politics or religion. I was fine with that. I'm not going to change his mind. Her dad never hid the fact that he didn't respect me. He kept making comments about teachers indoctrinating students, Common Core and other nonsense. No reason to get into a fight. I'm sure that's what he wants. I mostly ignored him, but he never let up. He was a total ass. Everyone was uncomfortable, and her family avoids confrontation with the dad. My girlfriend and her mum tried to change the subject, but they never stood up to him. I was done with his shit and told my girlfriend she could say something or I would be more than happy to. She begged me not to make a scene, so I didn't. I went upstairs, packed up, thanked everyone, and left. I told my girlfriend that she could stay and get her parents or brother to drive her home. We didn't live together. I went on to the resort and enjoyed my weekend. My girlfriend has been trying to apologize, but when I asked what she said to her dad when I left, and what he said, she still never confronted him. He never took responsibility. Sounds like he continued to insult me after I left. I've never seen her so avoidant. She's only like that around her dad. Her only solution seems to hope that he'll eventually lighten up. Do I tell her to stop being afraid of her dad? Do I confront him and put him on blast? Or is this a learning experience that we're just not compatible? And there was really one top comment on this one, which was from Various Gap, who says, have you asked your girlfriend how her father punishes those who disagree with him? There is a reason that people avoid conflict. Out of fear, out of a desire to please, or out of habit. You need to find out which, so that your girlfriend can decide whether she wants to change her tactics with him. If he's a blue-collar churchgoer, a conspiracy theorist, chances are he feels threatened by things he doesn't understand or that don't align with his beliefs. His tactic then is to bully or antagonize those who disagree with him. He is the patriarch of a religious family, which probably means he is used to getting his way and not being questioned on his views or decisions. You're a threat to that. These are 3 ways to handle this. There are 3 ways to handle this. 1. Avoid seeing him altogether. As you said, you're never going to change his mind and let your girlfriend decide if she's happy to see her family without you. 2. Confront the arsehole and tell him you may disagree with each other, but that respect should be mutual. You're not going to respect a man who treats you poorly. You could really dig the knife in and say, a man who is certain of his beliefs shouldn't need to condescend or tear down those who don't agree with him. Ask him if his faith is strong enough to be questioned. 3. Break up. It's up to you. And for me, I think Opie handled that in the best way. Yes, they could have caused a scene, but I don't think it would have really solved anything in the end. Opie took themselves out of the situation. A thought that always goes through my mind in these stories is, what does this person bring into your life? And, you know, the dad's bringing nothing to your life. They're criticizing you. They're being nasty towards you. So you just took yourself away from them. And you're thinking, fuck it. I'm not going to be around that person. It's as simple as that. In terms of the girlfriend, it certainly makes me think, obviously I don't know the full story about their life, etc., but it makes me think about how she was brought up and the fact that she's afraid to speak out and she already knows what her father is like. It just came across as a bit worrying, right? So OP did update the post and they said, I appreciated all the comments. A significant number of comments said I shouldn't ask nor expect her to stand up to her dad. So I didn't. I also don't want to break up with her, but we're setting expectations and she can decide if she can live with them. I wanted to respond to some comments, but the post got locked before I had a chance. I started by apologizing for leaving her and not continuing our vacation as planned. She also apologized for not leaving with me Thursday night. She wasn't mad I left. She knew I was frustrated with him and the promise I made to her. However, she was hoping things would be better in the morning. She ended up spending the weekend with her family. She wanted to spend time with her brother, sister, and mum. One promising comment she said is that they basically ignored and excluded her dad from everything they did that weekend. I asked her if her dad physically abused her or her mum. She was really taken aback by this. She got a little upset at me and said he would never lay a hand on his family. She asked why I'd even ask, and I said her family was so reluctant to stand up to him, even going as far as asking me to promise not to, that I thought that they might be afraid he'd react physically. She said that's just how he is, but he's gotten worse the last few years. He thinks family shouldn't question or criticize him, especially not in his own home. We set clear boundaries. We'll never go to his house again if that's his attitude, unless things change drastically. If they want to visit in the future, it will be at my house, or if we get to that point, our house. I won't ignore or defer though. I asked if she'd be okay having little to no contact in the future if his behavior continues. She was very reluctant to promise that and feels he'll eventually change his attitude. I told her she doesn't have to ask him to apologize or even pretend to like me, but it's all in his court and depends completely on how he acts. She won't stand up to him, so I'm taking it out of her hands and doing it myself. I don't care if I ever see them again. We're spending Christmas with my family. They absolutely love her and she has a good relationship with my mum. My parents live close and my girlfriend is becoming my mum's favorite. I think my mum is starting to like her more than me. Our parents haven't met each other. They wouldn't put up with this crap. A lot of people criticize me for being blue collar, church-going comment. I was trying to stay in the rules of the sub and not discuss politics. What I should have said is he sounds like every other extremist media junkie parent who repeats the same anti-vax CRT conspiracy nonsense nearly verbatim. Fake Christians who misinterpret the Bible to bully LGBTQ kids and ban books. Is that a better background? I put up with the garbage and personal attacks and didn't respond because my girlfriend specifically asked me not to argue. Plus he wants to play the victim, wants to pretend everyone looks down on him. I can't say shit to my students' parents either. Do I think I'm better than blue collar workers? No. Do I think I'm better than QAnon idiots uncritically repeating whatever's been pumped into their brain? Yes. That's where we're at. I understand my girlfriend's family dynamics. I'm not mad at her anymore. I'm a little disappointed, not gonna lie. She's a product of her upbringing and unlikely to change. Fortunately, she's not like that in the rest of her relationships. I always find stories like that really sad and we've seen a couple of them in the past where the head of the household and people were afraid to sort of talk to them and bring up comments towards them because of their reaction. I always think to myself, when they wake up in the morning, they see themselves in the mirror and they think, fuck, my family won't even talk to me, or do they actually enjoy they must enjoy what they're doing, because you just wouldn't do it otherwise, would you? I mean, I just find that really sad. But anyway, now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.